Hello, this is Clemmy Games and welcome to our first look at Figment, a puzzle game with action elements set in the recesses of a human mind, developed by Bedtime Digital Games and released on Steam in September 2017. For disclosure, I received this game for free. The core premise of Figment is that a traumatic event has occurred in the real world, which leads to disruption within an individual's mind. It is a story about facing your fears and coping with tragedy, told through the perspective of Dusty, a really odd humanoid creature with a tail, as well as his acquaintance, the always positive bird Piper. Our story begins when Dusty's scrapbook is stolen by a nightmare that has spawned due to the traumatic events that have occurred. Our protagonist, while usually nonchalant and hands-off, is thus angered and sets off after the nightmare. The first thing that you will notice is that the art in this game is simply gorgeous. Being set in the human mind, there are no limitations as to what the developers can come up with, and the hand-drawn art style does fit in really well with the setting. Everything from the pencil bridges, lily pad platforms, bulbous flowers, trumpets, buildings, clouds, trees, and bugs all look fantastic. I really love the surreal nature of the world and always look forward to every new area due to this. The gameplay itself is pretty simple, the bulk of which are adventure game style puzzles which requires you to obtain items from one area, bring it to another to activate something, to get another item which will then complete your original objective. Core to these are energy batteries which will fit in certain receptacles, powering up mechanisms such as windmills or bridges, which will then allow you to proceed further on. However, there was just a little too much backtracking for my liking, and the speed of Dusty's walk did not help things either. The second portion of the gameplay comes in the form of a rather simple combat system, in which Dusty swings his sword at enemies. You can hold down the attack button to charge up a spinning attack, and there's also the option of a dodge roll, but those are pretty much your only options. Thus far, I found that the strategy of rolling about until you find an opening is pretty much the only strategy in the game, hammering away at the enemy until it moves and then to repeat the process until all enemies are dead. Not too complex a system, but it did change up the pace of the game. Other than finding key items in order to progress to the next area, the main collectible here is Remembrines, which are orbs containing key memories. These did add to the narrative as you slowly discovered the backstory of the individual in question. What I do love about the game are the rhymes and musical numbers, which is a pretty odd thing to highlight in a game, but it is done wonderfully here. Firstly, we have Mayor Relic in town, who speaks in rhymes, and I really enjoyed this character. Take a listen for yourself.
Piper, you brought back something old and musty. Your presence brings me joy, old Dusty.
Mayor, what the heck happened here?
Trauma in the conscious mind. The nightmares have come unconfined. They've seized our lands without remorse. We hide in fear behind closed doors.
That's why the mayor sent me to find you.
So a few nightmares escaped the gate and you're scared, huh? I'm not your guard anymore, Mayor. I'm only here to beat that thief and get my stuff back.
You have been unneeded for long, my friend, but the mind now needs your aid again.
Next, the musical tunes are the key highlight here. The first nightmare is the plague, or the fear of disease, whose main characteristic is leaving behind clouds of gas which will damage Dusty. The design of the nightmare itself is great, with the red plague mask being the focus, and whenever Dusty runs into the nightmare, plague tends to break out into song and dance.
I'm the plague, you fear of disease! I come with waff and rotten teeth! These isles are mine, thou shalt not pass! I bid you farewell with this wall of gas! Persistent, are we? Well, for you I have a gift full of black death, rat nose and green gills, a pharmacy of bitter pills, drenched in sweat and with a scream, you wake up from my fever dream. Your blood is boiling, your headache split, you lose your lunch and smell like something nasty. I'm the sickness you cannot quell, there is no cure, you won't get well.
The tunes are catchy, and the lyrics interesting, so every single encounter was a joy. I definitely want to see more of this in the later areas, which again brought me much joy. Overall, I really like the setting, art style and musical performances of Figment, but the puzzling and combat itself was a little too simple and too tedious. Despite this, Figment is a pretty enjoyable game as an entire package, so do check it out if you like what you see. Anyway, that will do it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Leave a comment if you like. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.